Most children have that moment when they realize their parents are human beings who had a prior life. They find pictures of them dancing at a nightclub in a party naked t-shirt or stumble across something they shouldn't. In my case, my parents had basically been action heroes until I came along. Maybe they would have gone on being action heroes, but for a while, there wasn't anything to fight against. The world was peaceful. Then the queen of the underworld, my Aunt Jolie, was killed, and everything changed, especially for me and my cousin Emma. Now there was plenty to fight about, but until recently, it seemed as if both my parents had decided to sit this particular fight out. Despite the change in world, my mom had been a mum for the last 10 years. Whatever it was she was chasing out there, it would have taken something pretty major to tear her away from me and the peace of Kinloch Kirk, and that pretty major thing was Aunt Jolie. Was it possible she really was alive after all these years? It didn't seem possible to me, but Kinloch Kirk was a place where the line between possible and impossible was blurry as hell. I stared out across the waters of the Kinloch Bay, so still and quiet. This had been a wonderful place to grow up, but it had been a lot more wonderful when Emma was here too. Now she was off having adventures at school, Mum and Dad were off doing their thing, and me? I was stuck here with Matilda, who I loved, but my life wasn't exactly exciting. I couldn't help but wonder, why was everyone else out there living and not me? When did I get to have an adventure? The sun was starting to set, sending red and orange rays shimmering across the undulating surface of the water. The tide was coming in, and as I watched the horizon, the first wave reached my bare feet, making my toes curl defensively into the sand away from the cold water. I scooted my bum back a foot or so. It was probably time for me to go in, but I wasn't ready yet. Days like these, you had to savor. What was that? Raising my hand to my eyes against the dying sun and squinting, I tried to make out the blurry shadows in the sky coming this way. They were unlike any birds I'd ever seen before, and seemed to be travelling faster than the average bird as well. I could hear them now, a strange screeching call, like a war cry, reaching me from across the water. We got a lot of weird seabirds around this way. Sometimes I wonder if they had somehow stumbled through from another realm. And yet, there was something about these birds that was making me uneasy. A shiver tingled down my spine. As they came closer, I could now see these weren't birds at all. No, they were human. Or at least, human-shaped. They had pink skin, like bright pink, and a shock of red hair that was blowing out behind them as they came towards me at speed. They seemed to be riding something, maybe brooms? Yet they weren't like any witches I'd ever seen, and I'd seen a few. Their screams were growing louder now, reminding me of howler monkeys, ululating back and forth. Nervously I got to my feet and began to back away from the water's edge. When you are the niece of the queen of the underworld and the daughter of an elemental and a master vampire, you learn that not everyone in the world looked like you, and you shouldn't judge people by appearances. Werewolves looked scary as hell, but I'd had tea with a few, and they'd been perfectly charming. I didn't want to be the bigot here, but there was something about these creatures, whatever they were, that was ringing alarm bells in my head.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.